Hello YouTube, this is an alcohol review of Truman Reserve Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Is that the front? Is that the back? I think that's the back. And that's the front. So, yeah, alright. Anyways, according to the bottle. Nothing on the back of the bottle. According to the front of the bottle. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof, 750 ml bottle. Oh, interesting. Straight bourbon whiskey. With natural flavor. With natural flavor. Now, those of you who've followed me for a while, thank you. I've cut my teeth for many years in publishing and PR and that sort of stuff. And I have to tell you, I don't have to tell you, but I'm going to tell you, the devil is in the details. I've hidden more things in the smallest of details than you can imagine. Don't anymore, but with natural flavor. Not saying it's bad, not saying that at all. It could be incredibly good, but anyways, side of the bottle says in black with a dark background, Golden Valley natural flavor. Truman Reserve Golden Valley is crafted with the finest straight bourbon whiskey and natural flavor. Golden Valley bottled in the Ozarks on the shores of the great Truman Lake. We hope you enjoy. Okay. We'll see. Wax on the cap. Good touch. Good touch. In case you're wondering why the wax, you see Maker's Mark. They'll have wax on there. And you put their logo right on there too, if that isn't clever. The purpose of the wax is to put a second layer or lining of sealant onto the bottle. Remember, back in the day, they used cork. Cork is highly porous, which is one of the benefits and one of the primary reasons why they use cork. Is the fact that the moisture, the wine, the bourbon would get into the cork, cause the cork to swell, and then get tighter around the bottle. Well, when it does that, the chance of air coming in and contaminating the inner content, wine, whiskey, whatever, it gets a lot smaller. But cork is porous. Some of that air will come in eventually. Maybe. Odds are low, but it can happen. So, a way to make sure, you then dip it in wax. Now, wax itself is porous. I know one of you guys in the background, wax is porous. Yes, wax is porous. But small porous on top of small porous makes it really small porous for some to get through. Not saying it can't happen. It can. It does. But the odds are low. Cool. Plastic. Yeah, well. We had high marks. Now we got a low mark. Just my opinion on plastic corks. Cork is one of the critters around here, knocks it over. I can smell it from over here. It smells like lemon. And there we are. This is straight bourbon whiskey. I believe it's straight in Kentucky. Means that there is no artificial coloring. I know Kentucky definitely. I think straight too. I'll have to look that up. So it is a nice lemon brown, lemon caramel, if you will. Swirl, 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 swirl. In case you're wondering why the swirl and why the posh, uptight people swirl, it's like you get a visual of what to expect to taste. The thicker the solution, the less chance or the longer it takes to what is called leg. And I just have the little swirl, cracky things. Notice tears, legs, either way. The reason for them, finally it's tearing up. The reason for it, just to come down like that, is that it breaks continuity with the rest of its connected solution to the glass, to the air, and then finally kind of comes down. Think avalanche. Finally, a section just breaks loose. In this case, it little breaks, and you can see it, and it makes that little wavy, and that's that legging or tearing. What caused it to stick for so long, I know a lot of you know, I'll just get through this real quick. What causes it to stick for so long is sugar left in solution. To make whiskey, to make wine, to make beer requires yeast. Yeast like their sugar. Now, once you hit a certain point in the wine and beer brewing process, that's where you jump on to, say, secondary and other type of filtration devices, as well as just letting it sit and go for a little longer and mellow. You take your bourbon and it jumps into a still. Well, there can be residual sugars left over that the yeast did not eat in the first part of the game. And that is what you get here. Or sugars added. Check that out. Well, that makes it thicker. Takes longer for it to drop down, for the leg, which presumably makes it a sweeter taste. We shall see. Because not only what you see can be inaccurate at times, depends on the bourbon. Very lemony, hints of orange, bit of plum. A wisp of ethanol. I know, fancy wisp. Ooh. But actually, really, you can barely tell that there's some alcohol in it. And this is supposed to be, oh my word, it's getting old, it's gotta go. Tiny, tiny text. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. So, it is not a kid. But it has a great nose. Excuse me. As whiskeys go, there are some that try to knock you down and just step on your throat and be the end of it. For me, they tend to be scotches. The ones that just knock you down, take your wallet, those are your American bourbons. Then you get whiskeys that just pull a chair beside you, sit you down, and tell you great stories. Canadians, Japanese. Then there are ones who just sit down, not only tell you great stories, but want to hear your great stories too. Irish. This is an American. Does it knock you down and take your wallet? Surprisingly, no. I would have guessed this to be Irish. Straight up. Irish. The bite is almost non-existent. There is no burn. Lots of flavor. Fruitiness. Enough to rival some Japanese bourbons. Lots of fruitiness. Usually, when it comes to bourbons and your whiskeys, you get spice. You get yourself caramel. You get yourself vanillas. You get yourself black peppercorn. All these things. They're very much so secondary in this. They're there. They're sitting in the back of the palate. But you get a roll of fruit, which is something I tend to get. Maybe you guys, I don't know. But I tend to get out of the Japanese bourbons and whiskeys. We'll cut it right there. But it's very friendly. Very nice. I would like to say layered, but it's not. Sort of. You get your fruits come in from the beginning. There is no real hit of anything very hard on your palate. There's no biting of the ethanol. Like, there's no stabbings. There's no burnings. There's none of those offensive flavors that come in. It's almost watery without having that watery palate. Or where you get that flavor that goes along and then just drops, and then like someone just took water and put it on your tongue afterwards. None of that's there. It hints in one direction, but it doesn't do exactly that, which is wonderful by my measure. It is a really, really nice whiskey. Now, would I rank this as a favorite? No. My favorites have a lot more body to them, a bit heavier in the mouthfeel, longer hang time. Though the hang time is not short on this. I know, odd. Fruity notes into it, and very light on the spices. For what I've tried, tends to lead to be a short hang time, which makes for a great summer type bourbon. This doesn't have a short hang time. It's got about a medium one. That bitter, burnt tire that I get of ethanol in past. Yeah, well, it's there, but you really got to dig. And it is, when it comes to the hang time, it's like the last breath of that hang time. You do get that bitterness, but it's so light, you can easily overlook it. By the time you have your second sip, you're already masking over that ethanol flavor at the back of the palate. It is, well, it is a very nice summer type of whiskey. Add ice to it? No. I would not add ice to this. I'd rather have my vehicle keyed than add ice to this. It's too delicate flavors. It's already too light. Now, having it cold versus having it on the rocks, I wouldn't put it in the freezer. But I can see putting it into a cooler. Maybe a refrigerator, but definitely not a freezer. And it would be more of a curiosity's sake. So as it is, it's good room temp. Except the lightness and the delicateness of it all, for my money, puts it as a summer. And winter does have the background for it. Fall, maybe spring, late spring, early fall. But then again, we're getting the breath of summer coming in or going out, and that would fit well with this. This might be able to have the backbone to last up to Halloween. But at that, you're starting to want your cinnamons and your other richer flavors to come in that this poor girl does not have. does not have the backbone to go up and face off on. It is a wonderful summer. And I have in my mind what I think is the best summer bourbon, and I think this is taking its place. Last thing to mention, I rarely mention this part, is cost. And this is about ballpark middle of the road. It's more expensive than your Jack Daniels, but you're looking around at the timing of this particular video, you're ballparking around $30, depending on the taxes in your area. Now, the one that was my head, summer sipper, is a lot cheaper, more like in the 20s, but you pay a little extra for it, and you'll get a little bit better than the other one. In case you wonder what the other one was, it's called Two Gingers. Great Irish summer sipper, fantastic. Sit there with watching the sun go down while the temperature's going down. It's 100 some degrees at noon. Yeah, this guy could sit beside it. Definitely. Tell me what you guys think. This is Truman Reserve, Golden Valley, with natural flavors. Still curious about that part. Maybe it's on the website. I should have done my research, but matters not. But any comments about this particular bourbon, whiskey, whatever, down below. Be warmly accepted as always. Or better yet, go out, buy it, try it, and do a review on the YouTube Spirits community and let the rest of us know what your thoughts are on the Truman Reserve. Like I said, I think it will be or can be or is a phenomenal summer hot weather sipper to round out the day. But just my one-man opinion. In the meantime, keep on drinking.